Okay, in section 2, we are exploring the world of formulas. And one of the quick ones to look at the front end of this homework is the one that you see on the screen. It says solve for y. And the equation says 4x minus 3y is 12. When they say solve for y, they mean solve for y. So basically, you want y equals, but you don't know what x is, but that's okay. You still manipulate this as if it were an equation, which it is. It's just that the x term is going to be thrown around like anybody else. So the way you would do this perhaps is, hey, I'm going to get y by itself. So the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of the 4x term. You might say, why? Why not get rid of the -3? What are you doing? What I'm going to do is the same steps that I did when I was solving equations in section 1, which is typically for me, the last thing I do is divide the coefficient and be done with the problem. So the coefficient is -3 right here. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to take that 4x first and move it out of the way. And that's the first move. We will subtract the 4x. Yes, that's the only way to get rid of it. And then I'm going to subtract 4x to the other side. Now this kind of, see the cancel? It kind of blows people away because I've got the -3y on the other side. That's right, it's a -3y. The negative comes down with it. It was negative, it's being subtracted. Still, now it's 0 minus 3y, okay? So it stays. But then on the other side, people wonder, well, what do I do with those two terms? And by now, in Math 130, you guys might be knowing that these are unlike terms. So they don't combine. So you can write it as 12 minus 4x if you want, or you can write it as I'm going to do, minus 4x plus 12, because I've been trained by the best. They say, put the x in front. Okay, I will. But it doesn't matter. 12 minus 4x is totally fine. Our last step, our last step is to come through and get rid of the coefficient. Okay, so you know that you're supposed to divide it away because that turns into 1y, okay? But where do I put the -3 on the other side? You have two choices. You can divide each one by -3, totally legal. I'm going to show you the other choice too. Or -3y equals, etc. You could come through with dividing by -3, oops, all the way across. That's what I was doing, and I almost forgot what I was doing. So it could look something like this. I'll tell you, the one on the left is preferred because when we get into graphing equations, linear equations, it's a little bit easier to work with. So what we have is a -3 divided by -3 is 1y. And then on the other side, we've got -4 divided by -3, a double negative, they cancel, and you're left with +4/3, and I write the x to the side. And then finally, 12 divided by -3, it's a single negative, you get a -4 as a result. And this is done, and when you're doing your equations, graphing equations of lines and stuff, this is a preferred form, because what you see here is later, not too much later in this class, we'll be able to see in this case, that's going to turn out to be the slope. Remember this jive? And this turns out to be the y-intercept. It's a good problem to take a look at because we're going to do it again and again. There's nothing wrong with this side over here algebraically. It's just it's not as useful. That's why we prefer the one on the left. Okay? I hope this clears things up a little bit for some of you. All right, we'll see ya.